This is your Tuesday, November 17th stimulus check updates and stimulus package updates. We have huge updates on Biden's stimulus plan that includes $4,000 monthly payments. Let's discuss the details in this video. We'll also cover the unemployment extension, news on the vaccine, and what is happening with Trump's post-election lawsuits. Do you think Trump should approve a stimulus package now, since he said he would do so right after the election? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Andrew and thank you for taking the time to watch my video. Don't forget to subscribe for daily updates. Okay, we're going to discuss the details of Biden's stimulus plan, which includes $4,000 in monthly payments in just 2 minutes. But first, we're going to cover what Trump said today about the election. Now, on this channel, I like to be unbiased and show you what both liberals and conservatives are saying. So I'm going to show you what Fox News said, and then I'm going to show you what CNN is saying as well. But first, let's jump into Donald Trump's Twitter and see what he had to say today. He continues to fight this election, continues to say there has been voter fraud, and say that he is the rightful winner of the election. Now, he recently posted that Pennsylvania accepted fraudulent mail-in votes, and that is why he lost Pennsylvania. Do you agree with Trump? Let me know in the comments below. Now, he specifically said on Twitter, the rate of rejected mail-in ballots is 30 times lower in Pennsylvania than it was in 2016, essentially saying that Pennsylvania accepted fraudulent ballots that they should not have accepted. This would be ballots that were not signed properly, or signatures that do not match the driver's license signature of the individual, or other various things that would make these ballots fraudulent. Now, that statistic does seem to be true, but it does not prove voter fraud. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Now, as you all know, Trump assigned Rudy Giuliani to be his lead lawyer in these lawsuits against all these states for the election. So what has Rudy Giuliani been saying, and does he have proof? Well, today he posted on Twitter that he has a lot of affidavits from people reporting voter fraud. Now, these affidavits are basically people attesting to the fact that they witnessed something that was voter fraud or may have been voter fraud. Now, unfortunately, the problem is there is no proof. As of now, there is no substantial proof of large-scale voter fraud. Now, do you guys like Giuliani? Let me know in the comments below. So does Giuliani have proof? Now, in an interview with Forbes, he said he claims to have proof of voter fraud, but he cannot share it yet. That seems a bit odd, because if you have proof, why would you not share it? But he did go on to say that this voter fraud is way beyond what people think. He also went on to say that we have people that I cannot disclose on yet, but we have large details on the hardware that was used in the voting and that it was not properly done. Now, do you guys believe Giuliani, or do you think he really has little to no proof? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now, what is Fox News saying about Trump's voter fraud allegations? Now, let's take a look at Fox News' front page. If you look around, there is little to nothing posted about voter fraud. Now, that is a bit unusual because Fox News is known for supporting Trump and leaning heavily towards Trump. Now, this is something that is really upsetting Donald Trump, and there is a rift between Fox News and Trump, and it is rumored that Trump is going to start his own media company to compete with Fox News. Guys, do you like Fox News? Let me know in the comments below. And do you think Trump should start his own media company, or do you think that's kind of a crazy idea? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But as of now, Fox News does not really seem to be supporting Trump as heavily as they were before this election, and even shortly after the election. Just after the election, they were kind of threading the needle where they said, hey, Biden won, but they were kind of promoting some of Trump's allegations of voter fraud. Now, they're doing that less and less. There are still some articles out there on Fox News, but every day there's less and less reports of Fox News supporting Trump's message. Now, what else did Fox say today? They had an article that said Trump supporters marched past Governor Cuomo's house and Hillary Clinton's house in New York, yelling through megaphones and carrying signs that said, Cuomo sucks, expose the corruption, dead people don't vote. Guys, what do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below. Do you like Cuomo and do you like Hillary Clinton? A lot of people do and a lot of people don't. These people are very polarizing. In any case, that had to be very alarming for Cuomo and Clinton's family to have these people outside of their homes screaming and chanting, because as peaceful as protests can be, Sometimes these protests can get out of hand and get dangerous, guys. So I assume that had to be scary for Cuomo and Clinton. Now, Clinton's daughter even posted on Twitter, "There are Trump supporters outside of my parents' house shouting through megaphones, 'Lock her up.'" My goodness, guys, this is just another reminder as to how divided our country is right now. Now, don't worry, we will get to stimulus in just 1 minute, but first I'm going to show you what CNN said today. Now, CNN continues to report that Trump has little to no proof or facts supporting the fact that there was voter fraud. Now, CNN is not reporting any proof or any support in Trump's message of voter fraud, and on the contrary, continues to say that judges are actually becoming upset because Trump has no proof and he continues to push these allegations. Now, this other article by ABC News says, "Judges appear increasingly frustrated with Trump's legal claims about the 2020 election." And one judge even said, "At what point does this get ridiculous? These judges are becoming exhausted by all these allegations with little to no proof." And the Trump campaign and its supporters have filed over 18 cases in battleground states, targeted because Trump just barely lost this election. Now, with rare exceptions, the Trump campaign has been losing in court, and this is coming from both Democratic and Republican judges, guys. Now, a lot of these judges are appointed by Democrats, and a lot of them are appointed by Republican presidents. And it's been down the middle. It's been bipartisan. Both Democratic and Republican judges have been throwing down Trump's cases, guys. Now, do you agree with that? Let me know in the comments below. Or do you think these judges should be taking Trump's lawsuits more seriously? In any case, to this point, Trump has had little to no traction in these lawsuits. Guys, let's talk about the vaccine. We had great news today regarding a vaccine, and then we'll get right into stimulus. Now, Moderna, this morning had news that their vaccine is expected to be 94.5% effective. Guys, this is great news because, as you know, last week we had great news about Pfizer's vaccine, and this might give us 2 vaccines by the end of this year that could help crush this pandemic. So how does Moderna's vaccine compare to Pfizer's? Well, Pfizer's was reported to be 90% effective, and Moderna's was reported to be 94.5% effective. Now, these are still relatively small sample sizes. I believe Pfizer used about 40,000 people in the study, and Moderna used about 30,000. So that's a lot of people, but still a relatively small sample size because you won't fully know the efficacy until these vaccines hit the market. Now, when are these vaccines expected to hit the market? They are expected to be released within the next 2 to 3 weeks. I know that sounds crazy, guys, but we could be 2 to 3 weeks away from having these vaccines on the market. Now, you might be thinking, will I even take this vaccine? And actually, let me know in the comments below, would you take this vaccine if it's released in 2 to 3 weeks? Are you going to wait and be apprehensive? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And what are the side effects thus far of these vaccines? Well, phase 3 trials show that so far, these vaccines have been not only effective, but safe as well, and have had very mild to moderate side effects of injection site reactions, which obviously is just like a soreness in the muscle where you get the shot, a little bit of fatigue, and potentially sore joints. Now, these are all very common side effects of almost any vaccine, including the flu shot. So, by the end of this year, we could have close to 60 million doses of this vaccine in the United States alone, if both Moderna and Pfizer are approved. Now, they are both in the process of gathering their data for the CDC, but they are expected to be approved by the FDA for emergency use within 2 weeks, just after Thanksgiving. Now, how is this rollout going to happen? Well, it's expected to happen in 3 to 4 phases. Phase 1 is going to be nursing homes. Those who live in nursing homes or work in nursing homes are expected to receive these first doses of the vaccine, and that is to protect those at highest risk. Phase 2 would be frontline workers, those that work in hospitals, paramedics, and things of that nature. That would be phase 2. And then phase 3 would be the general public. Now, how long each one of these phases would be is still unclear. It is expected that just to immunize all the nursing homes in the country would take 3 weeks to 3 months. And at that point, they could then start immunizing people in the hospitals. So we will have updates daily. Please don't forget to subscribe for daily updates. Okay, guys, let's talk about the stimulus package and Biden's plan to include a $4,000 monthly payment. Biden held a press conference today and urged Congress to approve a stimulus package now and to not wait for Biden to become inaugurated in January as the president. Now, why would Biden want this? Why would Biden not want to get the credit for the stimulus package? Well, it's simple. He knows the people need it now, and he knows that these vaccines will not come soon enough to protect us this winter as COVID cases continue to spike, and we are expected to go into a deeper recession in the next few months. So he is urging Congress to approve a package. And what does his package look like? Well, thus far, Biden wants to approve something very similar to the HEROES Act, which in its latest iteration was about $2.2 trillion. It included $1,200 stimulus checks, another $500 for dependents, a $600 weekly unemployment boost, as well as more money for PPP for companies to keep their employees employed, and money for state and local governments. Now, we all know the catch. Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell will not approve anything over $1 trillion at most. Now, people are saying that Biden and McConnell have worked together for decades, and they think that Biden might be able to convince McConnell to approve a larger bill. Now, do you guys like McConnell? Let me know in the comments below. It seems like basically nobody likes McConnell, okay? But let's go deeper into Biden's stimulus and economic plan. Now, as far as the $4,000 monthly payments, this is related to paid sick leave, guys. Biden wants to include a 3-month paid sick leave for those that are out for either pregnancy or other medical emergencies. And it is expected that, of course, something being related to the pandemic, like having the illness or having a family member that has the illness, would count as an emergency to qualify for this 12-week leave. Now, this 12-week leave would allow you to get paid to stay home, and you would get paid up to 66% of your income with a max of $4,000 monthly. This means if someone has a medical emergency, including something that happens in the pandemic, they would be paid at max $4,000 per month for 3 months to stay home during this emergency. Guys, that would be huge for the people that are going through all these crises throughout this year. Let me know if you guys think that's a good idea. Now, Biden also wants to include a lot of other things, including free testing and expanded testing. Currently, we're doing about 1 million tests per day. Biden wants it to be multiple millions per day. He says we should have at least 3 to 5 million tests per day at this point. He also wants to include money for state and local governments. He wants to include money for childcare assistance since a lot of people's kids are at home. He also wants to extend the mortgage and student loan forbearance through the end of 2021. Not only that, he also wants to include rental assistance and an eviction freeze through the end of 2021 to help those who are not able to pay their rent. Of course, he wants to include stimulus checks of $1,200, and he wants to include another unemployment boost of $600 weekly. Now, guys, we all know this will be negotiated on, so we'll have to see how well Biden works with McConnell. I will have updates daily, so make sure to subscribe for daily updates. Let's do a quick update on unemployment. I'm sure you guys have seen that the unemployment data came back pretty good the last couple of weeks, and overall the nation is down to 6.9%. However, experts think that it will spike this winter, especially because most of the jobs that came back this summer were either in restaurants or in bars. And guess what? A lot of restaurants and bars are already shutting down or scaling back their hours and laying off employees because as winter hits, cases of the illness are spiking and people are not going out. Guys, I live in Chicago. You cannot even eat inside of a restaurant. So guess what those restaurants are doing? They're laying people off, guys. This is why we need another unemployment boost approved quickly. Guys, and if you're unemployed, I really hope this help gets approved soon. And if you made it this far into my video, guys, thank you so much for supporting my channel. It really means the world to me, and I really do appreciate every single view. My thoughts truly do go out to each and every one of you during this hardship. I've had so many comments from people who have paid taxes their entire lives and truly deserve the help after everything we've been through this year. And if you're watching this video, you're probably going through a difficult season in your life. Just know that you will get through this and you will be in a better place. Stay strong out there and keep taking steps towards a better tomorrow. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.